Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Busy Moms Fitness, Nutrition, Mindset, and Accountability Group. I am super excited. Today we have brought back the Move and Learn workshops. And I love these because the whole point of today's workshop is for you to take the time that you are listening and interacting to move. And that way you move is totally up to you. If you want to sit and you want to stretch for these next 30-ish minutes, great. Sit, listen, and stretch with me. If you are in a really nice weather area and you want to go outside, put those shoes on, be listening, put those shoes on and get outside and walk. I am walking on a walking pad or mini treadmill underneath my desk. Slides in and out. I love this because we get to move, we get to increase our energy, we get to feel better. If you don't have a piece of cardio equipment that you can jump on or the weather is really bad outside, grab your phone, put your headphones in, and just start walking around the house. I want you to move. Main reason is at some point today, I can almost guarantee that you have said, I'm tired. And moving is going to bring you energy. It is going to give you endorphins. It's going to make you feel happy. It's going to get you moving and excited and energetic. So if you are somewhere where you are able to move. Whether you are here with us live, drop hashtag live, let me know. If you're watching the replay, drop hashtag replay, let me know you're here. Or if you are listening audible somewhere else, be here, move around with us. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. As you can see here, I'm not moving super quick, but I'm moving enough and I can feel my muscles getting warm. I can feel my body. You can even see my energy here. And I know I really enjoy working out. So I tend to get a little bit happier than some other people do right away. But I promise if you move for these next 30 minutes with us, you will feel better. So as we are moving today, I want to encourage you, I'm going to be answering some of the most asked health questions that I have found. There's a few websites that I go to kind of see what people are searching for. Primarily moms and primarily women. See, what are you guys searching for? And there's a ton of questions out there and I've compiled them and I'm going to be going through them over the course of the next 30 minutes. But before we get into all of that, I want to let you know who this group is for. Some of you are new. Thank you, Amy, for inviting new people into this community just this week. Amy really enjoyed the group, so she invited people in because she wants to share it with others. And that means the most to me. If you are inviting people into this community, that means so much to me. And I just want to say thank you. So if you know anyone else who would benefit, whether they're a mom or they're just a woman, feel free to bring them in. We are all at different stages in our life. And in this group, I do specifically talk to moms because I've been a nanny for 13 plus years. I've been with my same nanny family for just over 6 years. And I understand what it takes to make life run and how hard it is to not put yourself first. So in this group, I address some of those trouble areas, some of those struggles, some of those challenges, and we talk about how we can make micro habits, small tasks, MITs, what's that most important thing you should be focusing on, and how we can take those tasks and make them consistent so that you can take your goals, you can take those dreams, and you can make them a reality and actually feel the way you want to feel. We don't want to feel sluggish. We don't want to feel like we're just not ourselves when we're out there helping everyone else. We want to feel like ourselves. We want to feel awesome. We want to have energy. And what that means is we have to implement small, sustainable tasks that are going to last a lifetime. In this group, you will never hear me say, okay, here's your quick fix, because that's not the case. Anything that is a quick fix is not sustainable long term. And it's going to mean that you're eventually going to be in the cycle of having to start over again, whether it's a month down the road, whether it's a year down the road. We want to create realistic habits and tasks that you can perform daily to create consistency so you can see results, so you can feel like you're being successful. And it may be something as simple as, I've crushed my water for 24 days in a row. That is consistency, and that is where results come in. Maybe it's, I didn't get all 23 of my workouts in, but I got 12 of them and we moved into a new house. That is a win. So think through, wins look differently and we need to celebrate them. So in this group, we celebrate our wins. In the comments, let me know what is a win that you had for this week, whether it's for health and wellness, whether it's for yourself, Or maybe it's for the family. Like, what is a win that you had this week that you're just so freaking proud that you did? Like, maybe it was scheduling a girls' night and you actually went out for time for you and the girls. Maybe you and your kids did something. We just had Valentine's a few weeks ago. Maybe you guys finally went through the Valentine's that they got at school. Maybe you are doing the meal prep boot camp that I'm running right now and you've done your homework every single day. What is that win that just makes you feel like, yes, I crushed it. It feels so awesome. What is it? Drop it in the comments, let me know. In this group, like I said, we talk about 4 main things: fitness, nutrition, mindset, and accountability. And in those areas, we talk about a multitude of things. So each week, we we dedicate a training to each one of those areas. I call them the 4 pillars. You'll be able to find those in the guide section. Fitness is this week because we're moving while we talk and answer questions and you guys learn. Nutrition, that's where we talk about meal prep, meal planning, things like that. Mindset, organizing, setting goals, planning, how to actually like put things into action rather than just thinking about them all the time. And accountability, that is consistency. That's where we're taking that small task and we're actually implementing it so that you can get shit done. So as we move in, I am super excited. Hang out with us. We're going to be here for probably another 25 minutes. You choose what form of movement you are doing, and I'm going to start answering some of the most asked questions. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments on Facebook. I am going to be looking at the feed now as well as later. So with that being the case, I'm actually going to refresh the feed to make sure, because sometimes Facebook doesn't like to update as quickly as I would like it to. And if you come up with a question or you have a response to any of these and you're like, oh, I know how that helped me or how that helped my friend, drop your response in there. We learn from one another. I am not I know all the answers. I know a lot of the answers, but there's some things that like I haven't fully experienced. And if you've experienced that and you want to share. We connect with one another through sharing. So the first question that came up when I was kind of looking at some stuff is, how long should I be working out for? You are a mom. You are busy. We need to think realistically here. And so often in that transition from not being a mom to a mom, we forget what life looks like and how big of a change that is. And when it comes to that, I want you to realistically think about this for yourself, because I don't have an answer for you. The answer that I'm giving you is how many minutes can you fit in every single day consistently? And I don't want working out to think of, and I'm going to reframe this. Working out, you can either have a workout where you sit and you dedicate your 20 to 30 minutes, or you can look at it as, I'm going to do X amount of intentional movement every single day. So if it's how long should I be working out? In a perfect world, if you can get 20 to 30 minutes 3 times a week, that is ideal. If you can't, start with 1 day a week. Can you get your 20 to 30 minutes in? Put that in your calendar for whatever day you are able to make that happen. If you're thinking, absolutely not, I cannot even get that 20 to 30 minutes in once a week, start smaller. Can you do 5 minutes every single day of something? Walking, stretching, doing some sort of balance work. Can you dedicate 5 minutes a day? We can almost always dedicate 5 minutes. Once you've built up that consistency with that 5 minutes, then move to that 10. And if there are days where you're like, oh, something just canceled or that didn't happen, I can do 20 minutes now, then move into that 20 minutes. But realistically, in this big life change that is happening, and even the transitions from spring break to school to summer to going back to school to Thanksgiving break, all of these, your life looks different. So know that if you commit to 3 days of working out, it's a great commitment, and put that in there, but be realistic with the amount of time you can physically give it. Because if we are unrealistic and we don't start small and you start missing those workouts, or you start not doing that movement like you say, you're going to feel like you're just getting kicked down and down and down. And I don't want that. We want to start really small and we want to say, heck yeah, I did that. That's a win. Okay, next one. That's a win. Next one. That's a win. We want to collect those wins. We don't want to collect I didn't do it again. I didn't do it again. We don't want those. So when it comes to how long should I be working out for, Realistically, look at your calendar and think, am I looking for daily activity? If so, start with 5 minutes. If I'm looking at workouts, think of, can I start with one day and can I start with 20 to 30 minutes and start there? And if you are someone who's like, Morgan, I'm past that, then let me know that. Drop past in the comments and we'll have a different conversation. But right now we have to look at what can we do consistently. Consistency is key in keeping it simple. Next question that came up is, why should I be working out? One of the number one reasons you should be working out is why we are moving today on this call. It is because you get endorphins and you have energy and it gives you more energy. That is one of the main reasons. And as a mom, you are tired. You're running around, you are tired. And if you can incorporate just small bits of movement to get those endorphins up, you are going to feel better. You're going to have that energy you've been wanting. There is, I'm going to go work out for an hour and be tired after, versus I worked out, I got my movement, I have the endorphins. So it's about finding that balance for you. One of the other reasons is if we continue to work out, we are going to get stronger. We are functionally going to be able to move through life, picking up the laundry, doing dishes, picking up the kids, putting them to bed, leaning over into the crib to put them down. Whatever that may look like, we have to, if we are not training our muscles and strengthening our muscles and making our body move in a way that is functional with intention behind it, such as a strength workout or yoga or Pilates or whatever it may be, it's going to be more challenging. It's going to be more challenging as those kids get heavier, as their clothes get bigger, as more and more dishes happen. So if we can strengthen our body and give us a full body support, that right there is going to allow you to keep doing those things, getting up and down with the kids really easily. Like, wouldn't that be awesome that if we incorporated some lunges, some sit to stands, and some core moves that we could get up and down off the ground easily? Yes, it would be. So why should you be working out? Your why comes from you, but the reasons I say gives you energy and it's going to make you stronger so you can be there for your kids and continue to do the things without aches and pains. If you've got any other ideas on why or reasons why you work out, drop them in the comments. Let me know. Why do you work out? Is it to keep you off medication? Is it to do it because it's something fun you get to do with friends? Is it because you used to do it and it's just something you're already consistent at? Why are you working out? Another question is, what is the easiest and best way to lose weight? I always love this question. So this question is awesome because normally when you Google this, you get two types of answers. You get the quick fix answer because when you type in the word easiest, it's going to give you something as a crash diet or some sort of cleanse or excessive amount of cardio. It's usually what you're going to get. But when it says the best way, what you get is those sustainable habits. And those look like consuming half your body weight in water every single day. It means getting good sleep and having good sleep habits. It means moving your body every single day in a way that you enjoy and that feels good. It means incorporating strength training into your week so that you can put impact on your bones to make them stronger so that we're less likely to have osteoporosis. It's by comboing these things on top of each other is going to be the easiest and best way to lose weight. And what I always tell people is a lot of times incorporating a workout is hard to fit in. Changing your diet, something people do not want to do. They do not want to hear from me and tell them what they can eat and cannot eat. I will not be telling you that. I'm going to give you suggestions. I'm going to give you guidance, but I'm not going to tell you you can't have your wine and cheese because I'm going to have my wine and cheese. So when it comes to the best way to lose weight, if you're looking for something that you can start implementing consistently, I always tell people start with your water. Get consistent with your water. Start figuring out how much are you currently drinking. If you're currently drinking only 20 ounces and half your body weight in ounces, let's say is 90 ounces, do 20 ounces consistently every single week. If after that first week you're hitting that 20 ounces, bump it up to 25 or 30 ounces. Slowly bump yourself up till you hit that 90 ounce goal mark. Once you hit that, don't stop. It's not a, woo, we made it to the 90 and we're done. No, we made it to the 90, we built up. We built up our bladder We built up our mind, we built up the consistency. Now we got to keep it going. And you will see by drinking water and flushing the stuff through your body, that is going to be the easiest way to start seeing some of those pounds come off. The second thing that you can do once you've added on is going to be moving every single day. If you are someone who sits at a desk for like a day job, you are already moving a lot as a mom, but being intentional about that movement is going to be that next key factor of, are we making sure we're getting X amount of steps in? And 10,000 steps is something that was an old study that essentially they found out the number was just pulled out of the air. But give yourself a goal of how much are you going to move every day? Is it a time? Is it a steps? How are you going to track that? And do that every single day. Start there. If we start looking at diet is where I see people start to either go really good, really bad. It's really hard to be consistent with that diet right away. So build that consistency habit by starting with that water and then moving into that movement. So that is going to be the easiest and best way to lose weight. Start with your water and then move into movement. And after there, we dial in that nutrition. That's the fun part. Okay, next one here. How can I take control of my health? First thing when I hear this question is, why do you want to take control of your health? What are those things that you are feeling that you no longer want to feel? And that takes some deep diving into yourself. So sit down and really think, why do I want to take control of my health? Once you've acknowledged what those things are, then what you're going to do is you're going to pick one of those things and we're going to find a solution for it. So let's say it is energy, just because we're kind of on that. Okay, how do I take control of my health? How do I fix my energy? We can work on our mindset. We could do exercise. We could eat better. All these things play into our energy levels, but we can't do them all at once because the chances of us succeeding long-term and doing them all at once is pretty low. So which one do we want to start with? Let's start with movement. What it's going to look like is it's going to be you having to set boundaries for yourself of, I need the first 5 minutes of my day to be me, to do my movement. It's going to take some saying no, some being cautious about your saying yes, and setting some of those boundaries. It's not, I know it's not going to be a black and white. There is going to be a gray area. But for you to take control of your health, you've got to learn how to set boundaries. And maybe all that means is putting it in your calendar as a doctor's appointment, because you know you're not going to skip that doctor's appointment. Put your exercise in as a doctor's appointment and think that if you don't make it to that doctor's appointment, if you don't actually do your workout, you are going to get that. You're going to get charged for not showing up to your appointment. Kind of think through some things like that. I have found the easiest way to take control of my health is setting those boundaries. And if it goes on the calendar, it's happening. It doesn't get moved. It doesn't get moved unless there's an enormous emergency or catastrophic thing that happened. Because I can almost guarantee that nothing that important is happening that's going to take me away from 5 minutes of moving. That's going to bring me the energy that I need that day. Okay, next question. Remember, if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I want to see them. I want to answer them. Do I have to give up my wine for me to reach my goals? No. So everything in moderation. If you are sitting over here and you are having bottles of wine every single night, you are going to see that it's going to be harder to reach those goals. And that's just what it is, because you're going to just keep consuming calories. But if you're having a glass of wine or two every once in a while, or even every night, what I want you to think about is, have you had good solid meals throughout the day? And that is where a lot of times we fall short, is we end up with these kind of put together meals that don't really fuel us. We're kind of just like, and at the end of the day, we're tired. We have the glass of wine. Great. But if we're already feeling like we're tired, that we want more food, we're going to grab food that doesn't make us feel good as we are drinking wine. So you want to think about is, as I am having my wine, can I pair the things earlier in the day by having good sources of protein in all my meals? Can I make sure that I'm getting my vegetables in? Can I look at my overall diet so at the end of the night, I haven't only had crackers all day and then I'm having wine. Because right there, those together are going to mess up, or not mess up, they're going to hold you back from reaching your goals sooner. But if you are eating a really good diet and you're prioritizing your protein and you're still having wine at the end of the night, you're just not going to have a six pack. And that is something that I am totally okay with, and I can almost guarantee we are all okay with that to some fact. If we hit a plateau and our nutrition's dialed in, our water's dialed in, our exercise dialed in, and you really want to hit that next goal, it may be the alcohol that has to come out. But if that's not, we can reach our physique goals, we can reach our mental goals, all without having to give up that wine at the end of the night that we enjoy, or that wine night with a friend. So in this group, I'm never going to tell you to give it up. Same reason I said earlier, I'm never going to tell you not to eat or drink anything. I'm going to give you guidance and suggestions. You are a grown adult. You can choose what you can and cannot have. And I just want to give you all the guidance. So if you have been told you have to cut it out to be able to get to this stage, I don't believe that. There's so much tweaking and consistency that is usually lacking in other places, that glass of wine or two is not what's holding you back from hitting that goal. Because there's so much other consistency that usually we forget to look at. Okay. What if I've hit a plateau? So this kind of goes into the last question. So you've lost weight, or you're losing weight and you're stuck. And you're just stuck at that weight, and you've been there for 2 or 3 weeks, and you just cannot seem to get it to go either up, maybe you're trying to gain weight, or down. That's a plateau. Excuse me. That is a plateau. And how we get through that is we manipulate our diet and we manipulate our exercise in a way that it's looked differently than it did before. So sometimes what that may look like is, let's say you've been doing cardio 3 days a week. This is just like keeping it super simple. So you were doing cardio 3 days a week for 30 minutes and you were strength training twice a week for 30 minutes. Maybe we need to flop and do 3 days of strength training, 2 days of cardio. Flop that and see if that starts messing with our metabolism a little bit, so that we burn a little bit more calories after our workout, which then in turn means that we're going to burn more calories. Or maybe it's our workout, we've been eating really good, we've hit a plateau with our eating. Maybe it's time to incorporate some exercise because we haven't done that yet. Or vice versa. You've been killing it with the exercise and you haven't focused on your nutrition. It's time to focus on that nutrition. So ways to get through those plateaus are to look at, is there an area that we are not focusing on? Are we getting horrible sleep? If you're getting horrible sleep, you're probably hitting a plateau. Because if you're getting horrible sleep, your body's in the next day is going to tell you to eat more, going to tell you you're more hungry, and then which is going to mean you're going to eat more, and then you're going to have more calories, and then you're going to hit this whole plateau, and it's the spiral. So sleep is really important. So looking at sleep, are we getting good sleep? Do we have a good bedtime routine? Do we have a good morning routine? And looking from there and kind of troubleshooting. So when we've hit a plateau, it's a little bit more specific. And if you have hit a plateau, drop plateau, let's figure out how those specific things, how we can tweak those so you get through that plateau. Okay, next question. What if I am not motivated? I am probably motivated 75% of the time. There's a whole 25% that I don't want to do it. And that is where how do I stay consistent comes in. We don't do things because we're motivated to do them. I can almost guarantee there are things we do at work that we do not enjoy. Email. We are probably not all motivated to do our email. I'm not motivated to do my email, but I know if I don't consistently stay up on it, I'm going to have hundreds and thousands of emails in there, and then I'm never going to do it. And it's not going to be good. So thinking through, it's not the motivation that keeps us going, but it's the consistency. It's the habits we build. It's those feelings that we have of, I just had a great workout. Oh, that salad tasted so good. I want more greens. Or I've been doing really well with this. Look at it. I can now reach my arm fully above my head without any aches in my shoulders. Whatever that is, it's not the motivation that keeps us going. It's the consistency in those wins that we are seeing to move us closer to our goals that really keeps us going. And if you're thinking, well, people are just motivated all the time. No, you are not. People are not motivated all the time. Like I said, 75%, and that's on the high end. In the winter, my motivation level is so much lower because if you live in Michigan or you live anywhere that gets snow, we don't see the sun very often. And seasonal depression is a thing. And when that happens, our motivation levels are even smaller. So how you stay motivated is you stay consistent with small things that you can attain every single day and that you can feel good about. You can check off and say, heck yeah, that was a win. That is how you stay motivated. So we've got time for about 2 more questions and answers here. So if you've got any, post them. Let me know you're here if you're tuning in here later. We've got about 5 minutes left. So another question that comes up is, let's see here, how do I eat healthy when my family doesn't want to? Migrating and working with life when you're trying to make a change, but maybe your husband or your significant other is just not ready to like eat more vegetables, or your kids don't want to eat more vegetables. How do we do that? One of the things that we are doing is I'm running a meal prep and planning boot camp, and I really encourage the moms who are in it to incorporate their family into it. Because if we incorporate them into the system, then it's more fun for them. It's like, hey, what type of meal should we have this week? And we can tweak and put a little bit of what everybody wants and needs in there. And it's also a great opportunity to teach the kids what balanced meals look like. So the biggest thing is incorporate them in. You want to think of this health and wellness journey when you're with your family as kind of a whole here. Yes, it's for you, but for you to do it for you, they're probably in the background as part of your why and why you're doing it. So bring them in, share with them why we're eating more vegetables and why we cook them this way. Explain to them and bring them into the conversation. The other thing is, so often I hear, and I was this kid, I used to only eat corn, broccoli, and iceberg lettuce and carrots. I think were about the only 4 vegetables I would ever eat. And I was that way until I about went to college. And a lot of that is our taste buds change. So if you can encourage your family to taste things and try things once a week, once a month that they've maybe tried in the past, but re-bringing it through, it's going to expand their palates, it's going to expand their taste buds, and it's a fun way to remind them that I now eat just about every vegetable except for mushrooms and olives. I think that's about it. Oh, pickles. Other than that, I eat everything. I love everything else, but my taste buds had changed over the years for that to happen. So bringing it up to them, having them try something new, but keeping it simple. Like keep it simple, like cook broccoli. If they don't like broccoli boiled, try it roasted. Play with how you cook certain foods. One for you, because it's fun, or I think it's fun. The other is your family may not necessarily not like broccoli. They just may not like boiled broccoli. Can we try roasted broccoli? Can we try steamed broccoli? And it's all about trial and error. So it may not be that they don't like it or they don't want to be on board. They just may not like the way it's being prepared. So be open to having the conversation about why don't you like it? Well, it's the texture. Okay, how can we fix that texture so that they maybe like it so you guys are all in the same loop? Another one is start slow. This goes for you, this goes for the family. If overnight you're like, I am so ready to go, we're going to eat vegetables at every meal, and your kids have never, or you guys only are used to eating 1 vegetable a day, just add a second vegetable. Just encourage the second vegetable. Because I know I was the kid that hated vegetables. Mom, if you're watching this, you know that. She can attest to this. That if all of a sudden we had to have more vegetables than what we had before, it wasn't happening. I was going to completely resist it. So think about, as you are teaching and as you are showing them, for you, feel free to incorporate more and more for you, but for them, go slower because they are not at the same spot you are to take that next step. So I want to kind of wrap up here. We went through a lot of questions and answers today. I want to know from you, how are you feeling now that you went in mood for 30 minutes? Are you feeling good? Are you feeling energized? Are you feeling a little hungry? Feeling like you need some water? Are you feeling like I need to go lay down in bed because I'm exhausted now? Like, how are you feeling? After that, drop how you're feeling in the comments. Let me know. The other thing that I want to know is, was there a question or an answer that stood out to you as, that is me. That is something I've been struggling with. That's something I've needed the answer to, or I remember when I needed that answer. Was there an answer or a question that stuck out to you today? If so, what was it? And if not, what question do you have that I can get answered for you? So these move and learn workshops, highly encourage the movement. Any other calls you're listening to, feel free to move around when you're doing those as well. But this one right here, I dedicate to that. So when you see move and learn workshops, we're actually moving. You're going to see me walking on a treadmill for the most part. I may be on the bike, I may be outside, but for the most part, I'm going to be walking on this treadmill. It's the easiest for me. Moving forward, we will not have one of these every single month, but we're going to do these probably every other month because they're a good way to just remind ourselves. And as summer gets here, we're probably going to do them a little bit more often because it is more and more beautiful. So if you have any questions, let me know. Remember to drop in the comments and let me know, how are you feeling post-movement here after these 30 minutes? And what question or answer stood out to you, if any, stuck to you like glue? And if none of them did, what question do you have for me? I will see you all next time. Same time, same place next Thursday at noon. If you have anything you need from me, shoot me a message. You know I'm here for anything. I'll see you all next time.